Awesome. Okay. So we're going to get started. And tonight for our team call, I just asked all the coaches that were able to join us in Dallas this last weekend. For those of you that don't know, we had every quarter Beachbody holds what's called a Super Saturday weekend, really, because some events are on Friday, some are on Sunday, but it is called Super Saturday. And it's just a quarterly opportunity for coaches in the area to get together. Corporate sends a video. They announce, if there's any new things coming out, they announce those. They always have like a coach success story on there. Lots of times like a fitness inspiration story. And then as well as lots of times they share stories there wherever you are at the event. And so the beginning of the year, we decided that we wanted to give our team the opportunity to get together in person, just because we feel it's such a huge part of this whole journey. And so we said, well, why don't we pick a weekend when it's Super Saturday, get together, spend a day, training and hanging out, and then we'll go to Super Saturday together. So we went for it, and we picked Dallas this time, and we just got back. Some of us got back at like midnight on Sunday. Some people got back yesterday flying in, but it was a it was a great time for me. And I'm pretty sure it was a great time for everybody else that was there. We'll hear from them. But I just asked them if they would be willing to share a little bit with all of us, kind of give a little background. I say we've heard like the 45-second story if you've read Get Over Your Damn Self, which I'm not very good at telling a 45-second story. And Liz was like, 45 seconds, are you kidding me? But, just a short story kind of where they were when they started this or before they started this and how they got into it, a little bit about their coaching journey so far and like their biggest takeaway or their biggest thing they got from the experience of being with the team this weekend. And I'm really excited because most of them were excited about doing this. I know it's bedtime and some people can't get on the call right now. Is my internet okay? Did I pause for a minute? But anyway, so we're just going to get started because we have a lot of people that I want you guys to hear from. So I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody. That way there's no background noise. And then I'm going to pass it off to Liz. She said she would go first since she knew she was going to be on right away. So take it away.
So for any of you that don't know, I'm Liz. I live in Oregon. I always like to know because we're all in different places. So I'll try and condense my story. It will not be 45 seconds, but as short as I can. So mine started with my second pregnancy. My first pregnancy, I was super fit. I ran like a half marathon at 11 weeks. And I was running multiple, just like 5Ks a week until like past halfway. And then even after that, I, just stayed super active until even like the day before I was induced. I walked 3 miles and rode my bike. So then my second pregnancy happened, and that was not in the cards. I got SPD, which is basically like my pelvis was separated. So I was not working out. I couldn't really carry my daughter. I was like sitting on a kitchen stool to cook dinner because it just hurt to stand and do anything. And I went to physical therapy, and they just pretty much said, we'll work on this after pregnancy. And then even in labor, I had some like crazy modifications that made it a little harder. But so then fast forward after, and I gained 64 pounds while I was pregnant, which was more than half my body weight. But at the time I was like, that's okay. I'll lose it because I was that girl with my first that I, lost it on. I didn't do anything and whatever. I was like the girl that I hated the second time around. And so I was super overweight, and I have been friends on Instagram with Logan. I meant to like scroll back. I feel like even before my daughter was born, I feel like Lucy was a baby, and we just like found each other through Instagram, had never met in person. And she had started posting like her pictures while I was still pregnant. And at the time I was like, yep, keep scrolling, Liz. Like, good for Logan. Keep on scrolling. Like, you're sitting on the couch and, you know, you weigh 180 pounds. So, and then I'll just like, there's just one specific day, like where March 8th, Leslie's birthday, where I went to the fire station, and we took like, it was our son's first day. My husband's a firefighter. We took the picture, and that night I was like looking to like, you know, post on Instagram for our chat books, and I hated it. I wanted to erase it. And my husband he was so upset. Like he didn't like understand, you know, and that same night I sent Logan a message, and I said, okay, tell me about PiYo. Tell me about, you know, whatever, you know. And she wrote back, she always says like, you know, that it was still like a little bit of work on it back then, but, you know, told me how much it was. And I was like, okay, I'll get back to you, you know, talk to my husband about it. And like, you know, said, cool, well, I'm going to do this. So, I started, even though I wasn't technically supposed to be working out, and I started with PiYo. And another thing I told her was, do not tell anyone I'm doing this. Like, don't tell anyone. Like, I'm not even telling my mom, so don't tell anyone. She so didn't listen. She put me in a challenge group a little bit after. And I was like, I can't believe this. There was another girl who was in there, Amy, who I'd also like been Instagram friends with. And I was like, now Amy knows that like I'm doing Beachbody, you know, and she knows that, you know, but whatever. And I, you know, just started to like lean in. And I also refused to coach like flat out. Like, I'm just going to do this for the discount, you know, because my husband's all about numbers, you know, which whatever, because then we started buying him shakes like immediately too. So, I, you know, still wasn't comfortable sharing. And I had my like first transformation, which I, submitted to Beachbody, and I actually got picked, and I was one of the, $500, like daily challenge winners or whatever. And then people like started to ask me about what I was doing. Like one of my best friends, I didn't tell her what I was doing. And she was like, you have to tell me, like, what are you doing? What are you doing to lose weight? Like, what are you doing? And so I told her. And then like from there, just like little, you know, people wanted to know. I like stayed with my mom for a week, and she obviously knew that I was like blending a shake every day. So I told her, and I think that was like when I did Country Heat, and she was like, what are you doing in my living room right now? So I decided that I wanted to share. You know, I hadn't lost all the weight by any means, but I knew that there were other people out there. So I started sharing. And from the very beginning, I have been very, and this will like lead to one of my takeaways, like I've been very guarded in how like I basically like use social media to share instead of like reaching out, because like the fear of like rejection and failure. And I think like freaking Summer Tucker like punched me in the stomach this weekend, like thinking, I see you nodding your head, Leslie. I see you up there. So I think that I guess I'll just like segue into like my biggest takeaways. Summer Tucker this weekend. And one of the things she said, we asked her like what her biggest mistake was. And she said, not being consistent and not just like sharing from the beginning. You know, she's like, you don't have to know it all, which was, you know, I think it's hard because even like when people have like questions about clean eating, I'm like, oh, well, I'm not an expert, you know, like I don't know everything. Like, here's what I do. And so I think that I struggle with not like knowing it all and having all the answers, but just being consistent, like show up. She said, like, walk the walk, be a product of the product. Just things that I like try to be. And so I think that, you know, she's like post 3 to 5 times a day, which sounds like so much and so hard. But like when you actually when I actually do it, I feel like I'm actually getting my message out there, and I'm actually like sharing. Even I was telling like Erin, I don't know if she's on here, but you know, she's like, I don't know what to post sometimes. And I was like, sometimes I don't either. I wake up and I'm like, what am I going to post today? And then magically by the time I go to bed, I got 5 posts on my like, you know, like you just think of things and just share your journey, and people want to know like, you know, what you're like, what's going on? What are you doing? How did you do what you're doing? They have questions for you. They want to see like, or they're creeping and they, you know, are watching everything that you do. So I think that that's like just my biggest takeaway is, you know, just putting yourself out there and being vulnerable. And I'm just finally starting to get over your damn self because I need to like write that on my hand or put it on my phone background or something. But then I do have one other takeaway. And I think that I'm probably not the only person, but I feel like this weekend just kind of made everything more clear. Like, these are not just, you know, these pretty faces that I see on my screen. Like, these are real people, like, and I got to hug them. Like, I feel sad, like, seeing you guys and like, we're not in person. So yeah, like, it just kind of brought everything full circle because I know, let's say I can see you, stop. I think it just like made it real, you know, and I like came home, my husband was like, how was everything? And I was like, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know how to tell you because like, you're not like in my same position, you know? So it's just like everyone that thinks like everything's a gimmick, my kid's literally screaming, I'm on at the top of the upstairs right now. Like, if this is real life, like we all left our families. This, like, it was the first time I'd ever left my kids. Like, I bawled my eyes out at the airport, but I went because it was important. And I went because like, this has changed my life. And that is why, you know, that's why I'm here. That's why we're all here, because it's important and it's real. I'm going to be done because I'm going to start crying and my kids screaming. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And yes, Summer punched me in the gut a couple times this weekend as well. I think every time I hear her speak, she does that, but in a good way. But I'm so glad you came, Liz. I know it was really hard for you to make that decision. And even that day, it was really hard, but it was such an amazing time being with you. And I was telling Brock about our dinner on Saturday, and I was like, and there's Liz, this little tiny girl who is about as fiery as ever, you know, getting on the waiter. But anyway, thank you so much for sharing. And I'm so glad you didn't kick and scream when Logan added you to the challenge group, and that you kind of went from there, because you are changing a lot of lives, including mine and lots of other people on this screen. So thank you so much. Abby, do you want to go next? Is this a good time? Are kids okay? Okay.
Muted. Can you hear me? Okay. Hi guys, I'm Abby. I'm from Kansas, in case you don't know. I've been with Beachbody for about 14 months now. So just trying to summarize and be quick, I basically went through what I think most new moms do. You know, you have your kids and you basically give up on everything that you were doing for yourself because your kids just suck it out of you. You know, your newborn baby, you're feeding every 2 hours, and when it's your first, you feel like that's hard. You know, you don't have any other kids yet and it's still hard. But like, I grew up healthy. My mom fed us really healthy. I love doing fitness. Now, I didn't do like sports in high school or anything, but I used to teach group fitness, and in college I was really healthy. And, you know, when I was halfway through my pregnancy with Harbor, my first child, I quit working out. Like, I was afraid. I was basically afraid I was going to harm, you know, just being pregnant. I was afraid I couldn't work out like I used to. Like how dumb is that? But anyway, so I quit, and then I had her, and I was on night shift, and just kind of a combo of night shift and having a newborn. Like, I was a zombie all the time and just put myself last. And then I got pregnant with my second child when Harbor was like barely, or just after 1. So I didn't have time to lose all the baby weight, even though 1 year is enough to lose it. I didn't. And basically, you know, 2 kids, going to the Y. I refused to leave my kids at daycare during nap time at the Y, and I was trying to time breastfeeding and when I could leave the house. And, you know, I didn't feel like I could go to the Y and get groceries and do 2 errands at once because I didn't want to have to breastfeed in public, and just all this stuff, like basically excuses after excuses. But, you know, they were real to me at the time. And I guess I just didn't feel like I was important enough to put the effort in and just suck it up and take my kids to the Y. But anyway, so my coach Heather had been posting her transformations, and, you know, I had about 25 pounds that I wanted to lose. And I just thought, you know, that can be me. I can do that. I can commit for 21 days, and I'm paying all this money for a challenge pack. So I'm going to stick to it and have a good before and after. And so I did that, and I just continued kind of mixing the Y with my 21-day fix workouts on my work days. And slowly it just kind of evolved. Like, I'm like, this is so easy not leaving my house to work out. Like, I'm saving so much time. I was working smarter, not harder. I was working out less and looking better than I did when I worked out more. And, you know, when I went to the Y, like on my days off, it took away my whole morning. I had to rush home and put the kids down for a nap, and I didn't even get to do anything with my kids. So I feel like, you know, doing this journey, like, it's given me precious time back with my kids, like 2 hours a day on my days off that I can spend with my kids, especially if I get up. That's why I like working out before they wake up, because I have my whole day ahead of me. I don't have to push them to the side while I work out, which granted, they're old enough to play while I work out, but even it's a mental thing for me, even if they aren't bugging me physically. So I don't know where I'm going with that. I guess that Beachbody is giving me more hours in the day, and that kind of leads into one of my takeaways from summer. You know, like, before and afters when we share our transformations don't have to be just, you know, pictures of our before self and our after self, but, you know, what has it done? Like, for me, it's given me more time in my after to spend with my kids. So it's really important just to get past like the actual physical transformation and, you know, what other parts of your life are you transforming? And I don't know, that's my biggest takeaway. Of course, it was great to hug all you guys in person and, like, you know, physically be with your team, and it makes it seem so much more real. And anyway, was that 45 seconds?
That was great. That was awesome. And I remember Abby in the beginning being very wanting to stick with her Y classes, and not really, you know, I'm not, you know, these at-home workouts can't really do for me what the Y does for me. And I remember it wasn't that long ago that you were like, I canceled my membership. And
Yeah.
and I think that in my eyes had to have been a huge kind of non-scale victory for you to kind of realize that, like you said, like, this is giving you more time with your family as well as a hot body, because you freaking look amazing by doing things from home. And, so I know a lot of us are really hesitant and, prejudged people that go to the gym a whole lot. And, we think maybe this isn't for them. And, Abby's one of those people that she proves that wrong, because we never really know what's going on with somebody. So thanks so much for sharing. So glad you came and drove in at 2:00 in the morning on Friday. It was so much fun.
It was fun.
Let's see who wants to go next. Anybody sitting at their computer? Everybody that's going to talk is away. Wrangling kids for bedtime. I heard Amy's little girl. I think she must have lost her first tooth or something. There's Amy.
There's no good time ever for everyone, is there?
I know. Are you there, Amy? I can't hear you.
Okay, so I cannot make this up. Garrity hopped on the call. Garrity's first tooth fell out.
That's what I just said. I said I think Garrity lost her first tooth.
And then she lost her first lost tooth. We cannot find it. And so we're like crawling around on the floor looking for the tooth. I think maybe our dog ate it. I don't know.
Oh, no.
We cannot find the tooth.
Oh, no.
But yes, I'm here.
You want to take a minute from looking for the tooth and share a little bit about you?
Yes.
Awesome.
So I've heard bits and pieces of what people are saying. I don't know if I've got 45 seconds or not, but so I met Haley. I'm Amy. I live just outside of Kansas City, in a small town in Missouri. I met Haley in Mexico this past summer in July, July 10th through the, 17th or something. And when we got back, started with Beachbody. When I met Haley, I thought I was in peak physical condition. If you've seen my before and afters, I was not. And I kind of thought I was too cool for Beachbody, but I also knew that Haley's Beachbody looked a lot better than mine did. And so I was pretty intrigued to give it a shot. So my husband and I both kind of jumped in, and we've been drinking our shake and eating, 80-20, mostly clean, and doing the workouts very consistently. We both used to run a ton, and kind of what Abby was saying, like, we can both be in much better shape with so much less time. And all of our very close friends and immediate family, most of our close friends and immediate family are drinking Shakeology and doing the workouts, and kind of exactly what everybody else is saying. Like, people, I don't really have to do a ton of active recruiting because people come to me and they're asking, what are you doing? I post on my like page about what I'm eating and how I've cleaned up my diet. And, I don't talk a whole lot about how I'm doing it, but what I'm doing to feel better, and workouts and my food and all of that. And as a result, all the people around me are becoming healthier. And I too, I teach ninth grade English, and every day I have another kid asking to see my guns, or I have a group of kiddos coming in at lunch and wanting to know what I eat for lunch, or where I get my bread. Or I brought in a loaf of Ezekiel bread today and had my students all wanted to taste Ezekiel bread. I went live in our local grocery store showing everyone where to find Ezekiel bread. And I've just completely embraced the lifestyle that I loved already. And now I have like the tools necessary to get me where I want to be. Probably the biggest change, though, other than my health and fitness,
you think will tolerate you doing that?
That in May will be May 19th will be my very last day teaching ninth grade English.
You got muted, Amy.
So May 19th, my husband's birthday, super happy day for all of us, will be my very last day teaching. And I am going to focus on my health and fitness and really focus, like, just go all in with Beachbody. And really, I think that that's my calling as a teacher. I really don't have a super captive audience. And with the people that I'm helping on my team, on my Beachbody team, I'm changing their lives every day, and they're telling me every day that I'm changing their lives. And so, oh my gosh, Renee, congrats. I didn't realize that. But that's probably the biggest change, that Beachbody has given me my confidence back. It's definitely helped me in every aspect of my life. So I always, even my husband and I will talk about how that trip to Mexico has forever changed every aspect of our lives, and Haley, especially you. So thank you.
It was not me, but you make me tear up every time you say that. So what about this weekend? Like, is there a big takeaway you got from this weekend, or just, the importance of being there, or, anything you want to share about that?
Sure. I just kind of, to echo what everybody else said, I mean, I felt like I've known these girls, you guys, forever, and I've been with Beachbody for 9 months, and a lot of the relationships that I've formed are, through texting and our Facebook groups, and it's just really strange how much we all had in common, how we've all been drawn together. And, just Liz, talking about having run a marathon when she was pregnant, and I know you did, and I did, or a half marathon. And I just think that it's just crazy how we all we have this common thread, and, we all understood each other, and it was really different. It was just different in the coolest way possible. And very refreshing. I've been married several years, and I've never done a girls' weekend, and it just seemed like the right thing to do. And I know people flew in from all corners, and we just did it, and I know we all had a blast. And Bo asked me, he's like, would you do it again? And I was like, yeah, and yes, I will do it again. And I know everyone on my team, they're like itching to come as well. So I think it'll be bigger and better next time, and awesome.
Absolutely. Yep. Totally agree. It was a good weekend, and I'm so glad you decided to come and take that girls' weekend. It was much needed anyway, but I'm glad you chose us to be with. And I love Amy's story because I can relate to it so much. It's a lot like mine, and just feeling like you kind of already knew how to do it. And I swear she started just to prove me wrong, but
I don't know. It's crazy.
But just 9 months, and she's rocking and rolling, and I'm loving on her people, and it's been so much fun to watch and be a part of. Let's see. Tracy, are you done eating? You want to go? Can't hear you. You're muted.
Kinda. I guess I'm done eating.
Okay.
I haven't even worked out yet today.
That's okay. I just finished. It's okay.
I'll get it done after I put her in bed.
Okay, go.
So I've been working out with Beachbody for 9 months, and I've been coaching for, sorry. Oh, Rowan, here. Take the Band-Aid out of your hair. And I signed up as a coach in October, and I just started actively coaching 2 months ago, maybe. And I just needed something to do at home when Rowan was about 8 months old, because I just couldn't make it to the gym. I couldn't do it. And so I actually bought 21 Day Fix off Amazon and started on my own and did that for, I think it was 3 rounds, and it got to where it wasn't overly challenging anymore. And I had been following Blair on Instagram for a while, since we had mutual friends, and I kind of saw what she was doing. So I just reached out to her and asked her kind of what she was doing. And that's where I started. And it's been going ever since. I love it. I love working out at home. I think Rowan loves it as much as I do. And so I don't know if I'd ever go back to a gym now.
Yeah, I'm the same way. So Tracy road tripped with me, which was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Definitely kept me awake and gave me some company. But maybe, do you mind sharing a little bit just kind of about you working as a nurse and things beforehand, and because I think we shared a whole lot about you kind of jumping into this business for different reasons, giving yourself something to do at home. But I think you're also wanting to get that not dream house, but just being able to move to that place where you and your husband can kind of really be a family. And I think that's huge. Do you mind sharing just a little bit about that part of it?
Sure. Yes, I am a nurse. I don't work as a nurse right now. Rowan, Rowan, they can't see you, okay? They can't see what you're showing them. And after Rowan was born, when I started going back to work, I had to work on the weekends, and I was driving an hour and a half just to get to work, and only working partial shifts and then driving home. And by the time I would get up and get around and go to work and drive home and come back, it was like 18-hour, 20-hour days. And it just was getting to the point where it was more work and more hassle and more driving than it was just to work the very few shifts that I was working. So we decided that I'd stop doing that and kind of stay home and help Brett with his business. But I am very, like, I feel like I have to be making money too. Like I've worked since I was 16 and worked all through nursing school and got a job right when I got out of nursing school. And I just felt like there was something here, take him to bed. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I just felt like there was something I needed to do to help out a little bit. And so I saw the opportunity to start coaching here and help a little bit, all while we've been talking about moving and building a new house. So that's kind of
Gives you a little motivation.
a big part of why we do this too.
Yeah, absolutely. Love it. So what about this weekend? What do you want to share with everybody that reason they should come next time?
I think what Liz said was exactly what I was thinking. Like, listening to Summer was like a huge gut punch. And basically, if you want to be successful, be consistent. And at first I still even struggle, like, holy shit, what do I post 5 times a day? No one wants to see me work out 5 times a day because I don't. No one wants to see what I eat 5 times a day. I obviously don't drink my shake 5 times a day, but it's getting better. Like, I'll post random stuff like Rowan sleeping in her car seat because she looked like a 5-year-old today, just.
Yeah.
And I struggle with posting like perfect pictures, I guess that, but Leslie said perfect's not relatable. So
Exactly.
I'm working on it.
Exactly. Awesome. We all have. I think social media is not necessarily a struggle, but it's all something we're always continuously working on improving. And, just remembering that what we share on social media is not, 20% of it should be about our health and fitness journey, and 80% of it should be just about our life and dealing with a toddler and being sad because your 2-year-old looks like a 4-year-old in your car seat or whatever it is, because so many people are going to relate. And that's how you build that trust and you build that relationship to where when the conversation comes around, they already feel like they know you. They feel like you're friends because you've shared so much more than just your sweaty selfies or your shape pictures, which those are important and have their place as well. But I think sometimes as coaches, we all of a sudden that switch flips and we think all we can post about is the healthy, good things we do. But anyway, awesome. Thanks so much, Tracy. And I'm so glad you made the drive with me. Sorry you got home really late, but
No,
it was
it was nice to talk and get away and meet some of the best people I've ever met. So.
Absolutely. Megan, since you just came into your chair, you want to go? You good?
No, sorry, I'm like a little flustered. I'm having quite the night with my child.
You are fine. We have all been there, if not there right now. So you're good.
Okay, so those of you, I'm pretty sure most of you guys know me, but those of you on the call that don't know me, Megan, I'm from Seattle area in Washington. I just a little bit about my story. Well before I started coaching or signed up to be in a challenge group, I did P90X years ago when I was in PA school, and I just fell in love with it. I needed something that I could do at home while I was going to school, grad school full time, and the hours were crazy, so it worked out really well that I could do that before I went to school every day. And I ended up getting in the best shape that I had really ever been in, and I had been somebody who was a total gym rat before doing that, and I actually used to laugh at those programs. I'd see the infomercials and be like, please, like, there's no way that I could do way better workout on my own at the gym. And then I finally just decided to do it on a whim just to see what it was all about. And it was way harder than what I anticipated. And it didn't take long for me to fall in love with it. And I loved the results that I had from it. And then so fast forward years later, I kind of did the workouts on and off, but I was still a gym person. And then I got pregnant with Rory, and I tried to really maintain a healthy pregnancy. I was active most of my pregnancy. I didn't gain a ton of weight. I just gained the normal amount of weight, and I just figured it would be no problem for me to bounce back into shape after I had her, because I've always been pretty athletic and fit. And I was kind of in for a shocker after I had her. I had a C-section, and I recovered pretty well from it. And I was back in the gym like 2 weeks postpartum. I was like, I'm ready to lose this weight. And I just started doing cardio. I know Haley's shaking her head at me. But I was like, in my head, I was like, I'm going to be done with this in like 2 months. I'm going to be back in my clothes. And that did not happen at all. It was completely the opposite. I felt like I was working really hard and working out 6 days a week and not getting anywhere. And so during that time, trying to nurse all the time, I started following Megan on Facebook, and then ended up on Haley's page just from Megan. And so I was kind of following both of them and had seen Haley's progress. And anyway, I was blown away by her postpartum transformation. And so I just really started thinking about the coaching aspect and watching her. And it didn't take long for me to message her and just want to know, what she did. And I needed to fix what I was doing because I was working really hard but not losing any weight. And it was just super frustrating. I didn't feel like myself at all. And I know a lot of you probably, this is repetitive because most of you guys feel the same way who've gone through this. And so I kind of jumped in. Signed up as a coach because the coaching aspect of the business intrigued me, as well as just doing the workouts and being a part of a challenge group. I had been I was in that transition where I was going to go back to work, but I just really didn't want to go back to work full time. And I was just really curious where that could take me if I started to coach. And of course I was terrified at first. I didn't tell anybody for the first month I was doing this. I think I signed up one of my friends, and then I just didn't tell anybody. And, but it gave me the motivation to post. I knew that I was going to post a transformation after I completed my first program, which was 22-minute hardcore. And I just told them transformation so I can post about this on my Facebook page, and that's when I'll tell everybody. And I ended up doing it, and I had pretty good results, and I was hooked. And since then, it's been fantastic. I have never been this consistent with working out since I've started working. And that was something I struggled with before I had Rory. We've never eaten as cleanly. We've always eaten healthy, but we've never eaten as cleanly as we do now. This has totally bled into my life with my husband. He does it with me. So it's been really fantastic for our lives, and it works out really well for both of us. Because we work opposite of each other. So neither of us really have time to go to the gym anymore. And so anyway, all that to say, it got me hooked, and the coaching opportunity has been really helpful in my life just because it provided a great padding for when I went back to work. I was able to make extra income, which has grown from when I first started, and enough to cover my car payment sometimes, some months, and other things, and help me pay off student loans. I've actually just paid off one of my student loans, which was one of my goals with this. And so all of that, I mean, I can't. How can you complain when you're the healthiest you've ever been, the best shape of your life, and you're connecting with all these great people and having some financial benefits on the side. So my biggest takeaway from our weekend in Dallas, well, first of all, it was awesome to meet everybody, and it's just so much different in person. So I mean, that was pretty invaluable, and we had a great time. But from what I took away from our meeting with Summer was she talked a lot about a lot of things, but one thing that stood out, it hit for me personally, was just consistency and how important that is to grow your business. And, not only consistency for yourself, you can apply that to everything in terms of, your workouts, your eating, but also your business with connecting with people and helping your business grow. And I know for me, that's something I need to work on, is my own consistency with the business side of it. So that was something that was a big takeaway that I had from the weekend, and how important that is. I'm trying to make this like as short as possible. And that was more than 45 seconds, but that's pretty much my story.
No, that's great. And I did not expect anybody to go 45 seconds, but I didn't want people to feel like I wanted you to talk for like half an hour. But like Megan hearing, so I'm going to tattle on you, Megan. She messages me like
Okay.
an hour and a half ago. And she goes, okay, Haley, tell me what to say for my story. I said, Megan. That was my response with the laughing emoji. But I say all that lovingly, jokingly, because I can relate. I feel sometimes like my story is not big enough to share and not cool enough to share. But as Megan sits here and tells her story, it is me. Was me from the very beginning, from before starting coaching, from before having babies, doing P90X while I was in physical therapy school and falling in love and finally getting results that I was looking for, to jumping in with the coaching thing, feet first. And so it just goes to show you that your story matters, and my story matters too, because it's absolutely relatable. And I want everybody on here to realize that your story matters, no matter how big or how insignificant you think it may be, how you think, well, I didn't really have this huge transformation, or I didn't, I was already fit before, so it just makes sense that I got fit again. It doesn't matter. Like, people are going to relate, just kind of like we said with Abby before. Who would have thought that Abby, who was fit before and healthy before and loved going to the gym, needed something like this, whether it was because of the workouts at home or because of the community or because of the extra income, whatever it is. Her story is just as powerful as, someone like Leslie, who struggled with a lot of different things and has overcome them, or someone like Liz, who has had a humongous, weight loss transformation. Like, all of our stories count. And I just want you guys, and I think I'm preaching to myself, because Leslie knows. I think I send her messages like Megan sent me today all the time. I don't have a story, Leslie. What do I say? And she's like, are you kidding me?
Actually, can you hear me, Haley?
Yeah.
I was thinking that the whole time all these girls were talking, like, why are they not sharing these stories like every day? Of breadcrumbing these stories on their pages. Like, why are they not going live sharing these stories? Like, all these stories are, and all these girls sharing today are so compelling, when they're sharing their stories, and they're all relatable. The whole time they're talking, I'm absolutely captivated thinking about how relatable they are, giving me goosebumps about how many people would connect with these stories. It absolutely just gets me super excited, because like you said, their stories are unique.
Mm-hmm.
There are the Megans out there that need to hear Megan Donnelly's story. There are the Abbies out there that need to hear Abby's stories. There are the Liz's and Amy, it goes on and on and on. Like, exactly like Summer said, like, we need to find our people.
Yeah.
You guys have to be brave enough to show up and be vulnerable and be real and raw and start sharing your stories every single day. Not going live and just blurring it out every day, but just sharing pieces of you every single day, because you got to own it, you guys. All your stories are amazing. And I'm so incredibly proud of you guys for sharing them today, because
yeah,
like Haley said, they're all incredible.
Absolutely. And I love Leslie talking, like hearing you talk about other people's stories, because she just exudes passion, not just for herself, but for everybody else. And it's just something I strive to be better at. But, I think, and I kind of touched on this earlier, sometimes when we put that title of a coach next to our name, we feel like we have to be this perfect person. We have to post that we loved doing our workout today, and we can't wait for the next one, and that we haven't missed a day since we started, or that we never have cheat meals, or that, you know, everything we have is perfect and we're 100% on track all the time. And so what happens, at least for me, this has happened, I feel kind of closed off, because when those things do happen, when I do get off track, or when my workout sucks, or when I miss a workout because I didn't want to, I felt like I couldn't share it, right? When that's exactly what we should be sharing, is letting people know that, you know, we are human just like them, but that these programs, these systems, this community, this is how we've become successful in finding balance in our life with our family and in being healthy, you know. And so I really challenge you guys, whenever you feel like you don't have something to share, like, ask yourself, okay, wait, do I not have something to share because I'm trying to hide the fact that maybe I had taquitos for dinner before my team call? Or like, I mean, you know, just being real with people. So, I was going to say something else. Maybe it'll come back to me. Something when Megan was talking. I don't remember. Maybe it'll come back to me. But I'm so thankful for everybody that, you know, made the trip to Dallas. And I hope that next time it's even bigger, because, you know, our team is growing, and I hope that they saw the people that were unable to make it for whatever reasons. They saw how fun it was to be with each other, and just uplifting it was to be, you know, surrounded in person by these people who we've known through the computer screen for however long. But then just really sitting down and hearing these stories, and hearing, you know, what this opportunity has done for them. And hopefully now when you go talk to prospects, your friends, you know, those relationships that you're building, and you hear someone talking about, you know, being fit before a pregnancy and gaining a lot of weight and not knowing where to start, you think of Liz's story. Or, you know, you hear someone else's story and maybe you don't necessarily relate to them, but you know somebody that has, and you can say, you know, this reminds me of my friend Liz, and this is how she started, and this is where she is now. And I really think you would be successful with this, because I've seen how, you know, the success that she's had. And don't be afraid to share someone else's story. That's what this team is about. We're here to give you guys real life opportunities to, you know, stories to share with other real life people, right? So I hope you you start collecting all these stories and start sharing them. Leslie, Renee, I don't want to like single you guys out, but do you guys have anything to add from the weekend? No. Leslie kind of already added. Got anything, Renee?
No, they did awesome.
I know.
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
They rocked it.
Yeah. I think just it's so cool, like, seeing you guys' faces on here and knowing that I've like been able to squeeze all of you just in the last few days is super cool.
Yeah.
It's
absolutely.
just very fun.
And I encourage you guys to try to get to events, you know, like these, like a retreat, or even just a super Saturday in your area. I encourage you guys to try to get to Summit, because honestly, just being surrounded by these other people who are on the same mission as you is really, I don't even know what the word is, but you realize that you're not in this alone. You're not going through the whatever struggle with business alone, or whatever it is alone. There are so many other people fighting for exactly what we're fighting for, which essentially is our health, our family's health, and paying it forward to others, right? And these events really just edify that we have come across this opportunity for business in this amazing company who truly, truly love people and truly want people, you know, to live their best lives, all the way from Carl down. I don't know if you have not ever listened to Carl, go look him up on YouTube. He's like, you think Leslie exudes passion, like Carl is like Leslie, like times 1,000. I mean, he loves this company and he loves helping other people. Like, that is exactly what his mission is, and it just trickles down from there. And so you guys, we've been so blessed with this incredible opportunity. There's no other MLM, no other company that does what we do and has the opportunity to do what we can for other people. And I hope you guys realize that. So we're like 5 minutes. We've got 5 minutes, but I think we'll go ahead and close it out unless anybody has any questions they want to ask anybody. And I think something funny is going on over in the chat, but I have not been looking at it the last couple.
We're talking about
just saying that the man with no shirt at the wrong house I went to first was also my friend. Just in the morning.
Yeah, so Leslie shows up at the wrong house.
Not me. Liz. Liz.
I think my L's are getting...
My navigation steered me wrong, and I thought about my house, and he had no shirt on when he answered the door. But I mean,
yeah. And she still stayed. I mean, like, came to our house. She didn't like run back to the airport and go home. But anyway.
How was your cupcake, Liz?
Oh yeah.
The ATM was broken, just so you know. But don't worry, the store was open and it was still open.
If everybody can send me their email address, I'm going to work on editing some photos tonight.
Oh, yay. Awesome. All right. I was just going to see if anybody else hopped on. Okay. All right. Then we will end it here. Thank you guys so much for sharing. I really appreciated it, and look forward to hearing from you guys on the team page and seeing you, talk about your story on social media. So, all right, guys. Bye.
Bye.